Hello there, it's Claire here from My Creative Spirit with a new project to share with you. It's a ring binder album, altered in papers from Graphic 45. So let me take you through the supplies I've used. Then I'll take you through the album, and then I'm going to show you how to make the binder and various other bits in it as well. So I used chipboard covers, 8¼ by 8¼ and the spine is 2 inches by 8¼ and then I covered it with this fabulous new DIY craft paper from Graphic 45. I don't know if you've seen it, but you get 2 large sheets in the roll. There are 6 different patterns to choose from, 3 reds, 3 blacks, and I've used the Curiosity Collage and Butterflies paper for my album. And then on the front, the extra bits that I've used are the metal door plates. I love these in the mini size. The Staples Black tag album, just a couple of those. And the policy envelopes, the regular black policy envelopes, which come in a pack of 6. So 3 different sorts, the script and the spots and then the numbers. So they're all in there. And then the papers I've used are these ones. So ephemera cards, I love the ephemera cards. Fabulous for journaling, adding extra detail to your projects. And also it saves you cutting up the papers for the pictures, because there's always a nice sheet on the back that you want to use too. So ephemera cards and the 8 by 8 papers, 12 by 12 papers, and then new out from Graphic 45 are the 12 by 12 patterns and solids. So there's 24 sheets in this pad, and of course they all complement the collection and other collections as well, because the colours will cross match. So that's what I used, and here it is. So on the front we've got a couple of the black tags, one of the policy envelopes, some cutouts from the 8 by 8 papers, and then this fabulous tiger on the ephemera card. I've picked him out in glossy accents just to make him sparkle, and added an extra parrot that I fussy cut out, and one of the door plates, and it's all sitting on the tiger print paper. So that is the cover. The binder itself is, as I said, 8¼ by 8¼ and it's got a 2-inch spine. And then inside I've used one of the Tim Holtz ring binders. And it sits like this. So it's a work in progress album really, and a great way of just using up your papers if you wanted to, and having it like a scrapbook or a journal. So we've got a lovely elephant in here. You can see the butterfly print paper goes really well with the collection. And then just a little card. I put little eyelets on all of the pieces, and I'll show you how to make those too. And then the binder sits down nice and flat. Let's just jiggle these around. So there's just a little page for a photo there, and I've picked out the word safari and cut that out of the 12 by 12 papers. Another space for a photo mat. So we've got 8 by 8 paper and the patterns and solids, and a little tag in there. Nice space for a photo. Room for journaling. I've added some little journaling cards that I've created. So we've got one of those, and I'll show you how I've added the lines on there. And then the policy envelopes, what I did was split the side and put a little bit of an extension in so that I could add it into the journal, so it flips backwards and forwards. And these are great for adding extra bits, memorabilia, tickets, whatever you want to add into the pockets. Plenty of room to do that. I love the way the blacks and creams all work together. Graphic 45 are very good at giving us continuation of colours. So whatever the patterns, they all work together. It's another little journaling card and another little policy envelope with a photo mat on here, and then on the back I've just added a pocket to put a tag in. I'm waiting for the stamps to come. I want to do some stamp detail on the tags and the journaling cards. Then we've got the gorgeous giraffe. That's backed with 8x8 papers and the 12x12 patterns and solids. And another space for a photo. We're losing a photo corner. Again with the ephemera card in. Those are easy to remove if you use the photo corners, and then you can put your own pictures in. Another little journaling card, a little policy envelope with a parrot band on it, ready to pop something underneath. And again, you can add all sorts of bits and pieces into those. I haven't added anything yet, but I will. Let's do it up. So this one I've just added a band at the bottom. That was a 2-inch strip folded in half and stuck around both sides of the envelope. And then I added some stamps here as an extra pocket detail on the back. Another plain page just for a photo. And the same on the back here with the lovely lion. Another little journaling card. And I had to use the parrot. I think he's gorgeous. Little tag in there, so he's been added onto the policy envelope as a pocket. And little tabs at the bottom. Again, that's a little band added just to the end of the policy envelope. Nothing on the back there. I liked the dots and also the way that the blacks work on this side of the album. Lovely map of Africa on here. And a place for a photograph on that side. Journaling card here. Again, you can write on it. And then on the back, I've just added an extra tag behind that one. And then the gorgeous elephant right at the back. Beautiful. I love, love, love all the imagery in this collection. And that sits really nicely on the butterfly paper as well. So that is it. You can make your book up from any scraps, add anything in. You could even make them the size to fit your stamps. Binders are brilliant. So once you've got the technique, you can make them any size to fit anything that you want. So let's just fold this all back up. And before we go through the video for the binder, I'm just going to show you how I made the eyelets. Making your own eyelets is really fun. You can coordinate them with any of your projects, and all you need is a circle punch. You can use a 1/2-inch circle punch or a 5/8, so it makes them quick. You don't have to die cut them. So I'm going to use the 5/8 circle punch and my crocodile. Let's get rid of the holes. So just from offcuts of paper, all you do is punch a number of holes. And you want to punch them far enough in so that you can punch out the circle around them. And then take your circle punch and line it up around that hole and punch. So let's do 4. And then they're ready to stick on. So you can ink the edges if you want to. And then you just stick them over your hole. And then I used glossy accents over the top, slightly raised, just to give them a bit of a shine, and also it gives them a little bit of extra strength as well. Let them dry on one side and then add them to the other side as well. And then you can make coordinating dies to go with the papers that you've used on your pages. And then I've added lines and edgings onto our little journal cards, or my journal cards that I've put in the album. So let me show you how to do those. This is one of my products. It's just a journaling mask, really simple mask. You can use it on your scrapbook layouts, your pages, to add extra elements into your projects. The lines are big enough for you to draw through with most pencils or pens, but also you can ink through them as well. And we've designed it so that you've got quite a wide top. And I've taken just a pair of scissors and cut a sort of jaggedy edge. It's really easy to trim it and cut it. And that jaggedy edge then is really useful. So you just go all the way across, just trimming it out. I've already done mine so that it's curly. I've sort of kept away from the corners so that I can use the corner detail as a rounder. So trim the edge, and then let's turn this over, pop it onto your project. So this is a really quick and easy way to add an aged detail to your project. And then take some ink. I'm using the Gathered Twigs distress ink and sponge, and you just put your mask over your project, so you just expose the edges and ink, and you can ink as heavily or as lightly as you want, and it just adds a lovely detailed edge to your projects. So I'm just going to go all the way around like that, and use the corner to give a round shape. So you can place it as far on or as close to the edge as you want, and that just gives you that sort of aged edge. So really nice if you wanted to sort of just have a highlighted area in the middle to write in, that would work. And then I'm going to use the distress ink to put some lines on my card. So I'm just taking the applicator and just wiping it over the splits, holding it quite firmly. And inking quite randomly, and then it just gives you a hint of a line. You could make them more defined if you wanted to. So that's our journaling mask and how to make the eyelets. And now we're going to go on and I'm going to show you how to make the binder as well. So this is what you need to make your little binder. Cut your paper. You need 3 pieces. The first one to cover the spine is 9 1/4 by 3 1/4. I've gone for the butterfly side. It's going to be my right side. One piece that is 20 inches wide by 10 1/4 inches deep. This one's going to cover the outside. And then one piece that is, let's put it on there and then you can see it, 8 inches deep by 18 3/8. And then for your covers, if you're going to go for the same size as me, 2 pieces of chipboard. Mine's 2mm chipboard that measure 8 1/4 inches square, and the spine section that measures 2 inches wide by 8 1/4 inches long. So we're going to start by covering this spine section. You also need a ring binder. This is one of Tim Holt's ring binders, and you want to find the centre of your spine piece, overlay the ring binder and just mark 2 holes and then punch them where the holes are on the ring binder so that you've got that. Turn it over and cover it with score tape. The paper works really well with glue if you want to use glue, but I've gone for tape. So the first thing we're going to do is cover the spine section. And let's just take the backings off here. quick, and then centre it up on your paper and stick it down. Like that. I'm going to try and make sure that all my butterflies are going the right way. And then around the edge of that, you want to put some tape. I'm going to cut the corners off, so don't worry about being really neat around the corners. Like that. The last one. And then you want to mitre your corners, so cut them off, leaving just a little bit of paper showing. If you want to, you could use your board, your cover, as a guide, put it up against the corner at a diagonal, and then draw a pencil line on this side. Let's just show you. Like that, and that's your guide to cut your corner, which will leave a tiny bit of paper showing. So let's go around and do that on the wall. And then cut them. So just mitre them off. Cut along your paper lines. And then take your backing strips off the tape. Says easier said than done. Oh, there it is. Oops. Oh. You have to smell these papers, they're absolutely gorgeous. We love that Graphic 45 paper smell, don't we? And then I always start with the long sides, so just use your work surface, lift up so that you get that crease going, and then fold your paper around and stick it down. Same on the other side. And then you'll have little triangles sticking out over the top of the chipboard at the corners. Just flatten them inwards, so just use your finger just to flatten them in, just to cover the chipboard, and then lift up and stick. It covers beautifully. It's a fabulous weight. And stick. And then you just want to either repunch or just poke through your holes. Again, I'm just going to use my scissors. Like that. And then before you put your ring binder in this piece, put score tape all the way around again so that it's ready to stick down into your binder. So I'm just coming in from the edge just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to go around all four sides. Like that. Now if you want to make it extra sticky, then you can put strips down either side of the holes as well. And then it won't be moving. So don't take the backing tapes off those at the moment. Turn over and put your ring binder on. Now, I like to put a little bit of glue. Don't go down this centre section because that's going to move. But I like to put a little bit of glue, just extra stick at the ends, so that there's just a little bit more to hold it in place. So I'm just using tacky glue. There's a bit of a dimple, so I'm just going to put the glue in the dimple. And then as the binder dries, it will drop down and dry. You don't have to do this, but I do. And then just position it and push your brads through your holes. Whoops. Like that. Press down really firmly. Turn over. Open up the split pin. Can't do it. So push from the underside so that when you open the split pin, it really does open wide, and the brad is really firmly attached on the other side, like that. And then I'm going to put those so that they run vertically, and then put one more strip of tape right over the top, and then hopefully they won't be moving, which is why I left that middle bit free. Stick it down firmly, and then we can put that piece to one side while we decorate the album or put the binder together. So I love the lids on these rolls, they're like little plugs. So bring in your large piece of paper now and your two album covers and your covered spine. And what you want to do is, it's a bit too big to see it on the whole camera, isn't it? Just move these out of the way. Get yourself a bone folder as well. It's handy. And move that out of the way. It's got a tidy table. So what you want to do is centre up your spine and then bring your album covers in. So you want to centre the whole lot, leaving 1/4 of an inch between the spine and the cover. You should have about an inch of paper at either end once you've got your pieces spaced. And then just holding the spine, take a pencil and draw a line on your paper on either side of the spine, because we're not going to stick that in, and then take that out. So that gets stuck in later on. Then take your double-sided tape. I'm using the 3/8, 3/8 width, and I'm going to put up the side of that pencil line a strip of tape. So I'm working on the outside edge of the line. Strip of tape up there. And that strip of tape acts as a guide, but also a strengthener where your binder folds up as well. So you can take the backings off or you can leave the backing on. I'm going to leave my backing on, I think. And then we're ready to stick our boards in place. And they go just over the tape. You want to make sure that you have got double width of board gap between your spine and your cover. If it's too close, if you stick them too close, all your paper will rip as you fold your binder up. If it's too far away, then it becomes saggy on the cover. So you want to just mark, I'm going to use the middle of that, the wording on that strip. Another way to give yourself a guide is to put both of your chipboard covers together, butt them up against the spine and draw yourself a line. So I'm drawing that on the tape. I can just see it, and that's a really good guide. So let's do it on the other side as well. Hold that in place, put that up, and draw a line. Whoops. Just see it. Maybe pencil's not good on the tape. And then take this away, and now we're ready to stick our boards in place. So you can use glue or you can use tape. I'm going to just use tacky glue, and then that gives me a little bit of wiggle time. So I'm just going to cover the whole of the board. Now you can use your bone folder then just to spread the glue out so that you haven't got lots of trails. Because this paper is quite fine, you don't want to put tons and tons of glue on. just enough so that it sticks to the paper without soaking in. That one's on, and then let's do the same with the other one. All the way around. And spread it out. Right to the edges. And stick it on the pencil line on the other side. You might want to use your ruler just to make sure that you've got your album covers straight, because we haven't got the spine in the middle to work from. So if I put my ruler on, let's just lift and take it out. Put my ruler on there, and then I know that my cover goes along that line there. Straighten it up. It's just a bit wonky. That's it. So we're in. And then you want to take your, so press those down really firmly. If you spread your glue out, it really does stick to the paper straight away. Then take your score tape and go all the way around the outside edges of the paper. Now you can mitre yourself around the corner if you want to, or just take the tape round. You can rip it or just take it round. We're going to cut the corners so they don't have to be neat. And then let's go right across that long edge again and down the side. Now if you wanted to draw yourself a line again across the corner, you could take your spine piece and use that as a guide, or use your ruler, or just cut. So you want to trim your four corners. Let's just turn it around. And you just want to make sure that you've got a little bit of paper sticking out at the edge of each corner. One to go, I've lost it, here it is. And then before you go any further, just flip over and just smooth out your paper if you've used your glue, just to make sure that it's sitting really nicely on your cover and you haven't got any ruckles in it. Again, you could use your bone folder to do that. You'll be fine as long as you haven't soaked your chipboard with glue. So those are really nice and smooth. Let's turn it back. Move the little corners out of the way. And I do the long edges first. So now take your backing pieces off the tape, and we haven't got the spine in here. That makes it a bit floppy, but you can still fold up, push away from yourself on your surface, fold up to start that crease going, and then ease your paper down, just pushing it onto the edges of the chipboard here, and you will get a natural straight section in the middle. And then work down one edge and stick your paper down, and then work along the other edge. It pulls really nicely over the chipboard, the paper, and then flatten down that centre section and just fold up, and then turn round and do the same again. So make sure that your boards are pulled apart, push to start that crease going, fold over and just flatten that centre section, and then work down either side of your covers to get them nice and flat. And then do the same with the ends, just like we did with the spine section. So take your tape off, flatten that little triangle inwards around the edge of the chipboard, lift up to get your crease going, and fold over. And then the same on the other side. What's happened here? Let's just sort this little nick out. And flatten down. Take your tape off. Lift up and just fold over. It is quite delicate, this paper, so just be gentle with it. So now you've got your covered binder. You want to take your inner piece and lay it out, and make sure the butterflies are going the right way, which I think, let's check on the other side. That is, oh no, it's this one. Let's turn this one round, just so that I've got them both going the right way, like that. So this piece goes across the whole book now. We can do it in one piece rather than doing it in two. So I'm going to start with the centre section and take the backing off the centre strips. She says, maybe not. Do I need to get my scissors? No. Okay. So you do the same if you're following along. I will get the scissors, I'm sure it'll be quicker. Now they've stuck to it. So this is going to sit under our spine piece that we're going to add last. So because it's a very big piece, I don't want to just start at one end and stick across. I just want to work on the centre and make sure that it's sitting in those gaps between, can you see where the tape is? So I've got my sort of score lines, and I'm just lining them up, and also lining the paper up so that right across it's sitting straight along the top and bottom edges, and I've got an equal gap at either end. And then I'm just going to sort of flatten it down, work my fingers to the middle, and just gently ease the paper and stick it down in the centre. Because we've got that little rift where the spine meets the chipboard cover. So once you've got your centrepiece stuck down, just work it down the spine so that it's all nice and flat at the top and the bottom. Then it's really easy to fold this back and work on it and stick it down. I always find if you start at one end with a long piece of paper, it's so hard to get it perfectly straight. But easy to work in sections. But not so easy to get the tape off. Be careful you don't get stuck to the tape. And 2 to go. That one. And then just working from the middle. You could use your ruler actually, if you want to just sort of smooth it along as you're sticking it down. So that it sticks down really smoothly. That's worked. And then when you lift your cover up, you've got a really nice join in the centre. And then flip this side over and do the same again. It really makes a beautiful binder. Very neat. I love these eyes. I love that collection. I wonder if they'll bring out a deluxe old curiosity shop collection. I love all the images in that. Okay, last one. And then you can use your ruler again or just your hand. I'm going to use the ruler, it does work. Just helps to get it beautifully flat. So just working across, down the middle, all the way across. And there we are. We have got a beautiful binder covered. So I'm just going to crease. I know we've got nothing in the middle yet, but I'm just going to crease those edges. And now all we've got to do is put our binder in the middle. And it's going to sit perfectly in between those two covers. So now we need to strip all of these tapes off, or backing tapes off. Let's see if I can do it really quickly. No. Just chit chat while I'm doing this, or shall I sing? No, maybe not. La, la, la. Nearly done, nearly done. And the last one, come on. Done. So I'm going to lift one side up, and I can see the crease here on this side. Now the key with this piece is you want to line it up between those two cover pieces, but also so that it sits perfectly along the top and the bottom edge here. And when you're happy with where it's sitting and your binder folds up, stick it on down. And there we are, one beautifully covered binder. It's got a lot of flexibility, so it won't rip. We've got a nice little gap so that you can open it and it falls backwards. So one beautiful binder, all ready to decorate. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and of course subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be kept up to date with all the new projects as they come out. Thanks for watching.